Hi everyone, I'm Baseball Canada Master Course Conductor Steve Boutang, and today I'm being joined by Baseball Canada instructor Phil Bourgeois, and we're going to talk about appeals and plays. So let's start off our quick little PowerPoint here talking about what is an appeal. Well, an appeal is simply an act by the offense that is not legal, and the defense claims that there's been a violation of the rules. So that's the simplest way to explain what is an appeal. Only certain things can be appealed. Let's go through some of them right now. Number one, a check swing. A runner missed the base as he was running past it, or the runner missed home plate. Also, a couple of other things. The runner fails to tag up after a catch, or fails to return to first base after overrunning it, or batting out of order. There are some requirements for an appeal to be made properly. Let's go through those now. Phil, tell us about this.
Thanks, Steve. So the first one is that we have to have a live ball. We can't appeal anything if the play has been killed, and if we've called time, we have to put the ball back in play legally. Remembering that putting the ball back in play legally involves the pitcher having the baseball on the rubber and the umpire saying the words play. The next thing is the timing of the appeal. So the defense has to appeal whatever it thinks the offense did wrong prior to leaving the field of play. If it's gone back to the dugout, it's too late. And finally, the defense must appeal before the next pitch or play following the end of continuous action. So Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about what a play is?
All right, there are 5 specific actions that are defined as plays in the rule book. A tag or an attempted tag of a runner. What would be an example of that, Phil?
So that would be an example for if a runner was running between first and second base, and the second baseman was in possession of the baseball and attempted to tag that runner out.
So an attempted tag or a tag of a runner is number 1. Number 2, a tag or an attempted tag of a base. A throw from a fielder in an attempt to get an out. What does that mean, Phil?
An example of that would be if the batter were to, say, hit a ground ball to shortstop, and the shortstop tried to throw the ball to first base to get the batter runner out. That is a throw from a fielder in an attempt to get an out.
Can a throw from a fielder include the outfield as well?
Absolutely. So if that bite was a base hit to the outfield and that batter was trying to reach second base on that base hit, and the center fielder threw the ball towards someone covering second base, that's another throw from a fielder in an attempt to get an out.
All right, let's look at some other examples of what is a play. A rundown, that's pretty self-explanatory. And the 5th play is a balk. So we have a tag or attempted tag of a runner or a base, a throw from a fielder in an attempt to make an out, and a rundown and a balk. Those are the 5 plays. It's important to note that once the next pitch or play has occurred, that the defense cannot appeal anything that occurred prior to that play unless it was part of the continuous action. So now let's talk about what continuous action means. Phil, go ahead.
Great. So in simple terms, continuous action simply means that you can have more than one play occurring as part of a sequence before a break. So a simple example of that would be if there was a runner on first base and a ground ball was hit to short. That shortstop throwing the ball to the second baseman is the first play, and the second baseman throwing the ball to first base is the second play as part of that continuous action. So if the offense did something wrong, in either case, the defense can still appeal the first or second play of that sequence.
Another good example of that might be a runner at first base and a base hit to right field. The runner from first base rounds second but doesn't touch it and goes all the way to third base. The fielder throws from right field to third base to get the runner out. Let's say he's safe. The batter rounds first base and goes for second. The third baseman now throws the ball to second base. That means that all of those plays were part of continuous action. The defense still has the opportunity to appeal that R1 missed second base because all of those things that took place were part of continuous action. How do you make a legal appeal, Phil?
Right, there's a few things that the defense has to do to make a legal appeal. We talked about that the ball has to be live. Now, there is an exception to this, which is the batting out of order situation. As you can imagine, it would be pretty chaotic to try appeal batting out of order with a live ball. The second piece is that the defense must throw the ball to either the base that they think that the offense made a mistake on. Like in Steve's example, it would be throwing the ball to second base to say that, hey, this runner missed second base. Or they can tag the runner that they claim violated the rule. So again, using Steve's example, they could pick the ball up and tag that runner who's at third base and say, Mr. Umpire, this runner missed second base. And that would be another way to make the appeal. The most important piece of this is that the appeal must be unmistakable. You cannot accidentally appeal someone, for example, missing a base. If you throw that ball to second base to get another runner out, it doesn't mean that it's an appeal of that first runner missing second base the first time. It has to be obvious to everyone. So the defense has to initiate this appeal on their own. Our role as umpires is not to point out the mistakes that the offense makes to the defense. We would be giving them an advantage. So if we notice that a runner, for example, misses a base, keep that information in our back pocket so that we know how to rule on it if the defense makes a proper appeal.
All right, thanks, Phil. Let's watch a video now to see how a missed base appeal can occur.
Marte takes off. The pitch is upstairs to third out. On the bag, they get him. Carlos will be charged with an error, allowing Marte to advance to third. But high fastball, much easier pitch. Oh, and catcher quick. So runs straight into Marte. Yeah, they're going to get him if that ball was that base. Quick release. Yelling action on the throw for Brett, forcing down the infield in. Definitely going to get him. Forcing up Bird, you need to go right into the slide for Marte. I'm such a holding things up here. We're trying to figure out looking at it. This sounds to me like they're going to appeal second base. They never touch the bag, though. Mike was looking back at Dino. Kind of an odd time for him to come out here. That's all I can think of here. So he slid into second, popped up, and then just went to third without touching the base, maybe. That's my guess. Non-vision right there. It's also what they're going to try to do. They're going to appeal. Second, they're going to have him go in the stretch position, step off, pitch rubber, then throw to second. Kerwin Danley's the second base umpire, so he'll step off. He'll put the runner back, throw to second base, and he's out. He never touched second base. So he slid into the bag, into the area, never touched the base before advancing to third. That's an excellent job by the whole coaching staff of the Angels to see that and to make that call and have Mike Scioscia run out to Jared Weaver and make sure to go through the proper protocol as far as what you're supposed to do. And he looks like he's a little short of the base right there and still hasn't touched the base. That baseball was in front.
All right, that was a pretty good video example. showing a runner missing the base and how the defense went through a proper appeal there to record the out. Okay, let's have a quick review. So let's just do this together as a group. Let's go to our first question. Does the offense or defense initiate an appeal? We've already discussed that the defense is the one who makes an appeal in every situation. Number 2. Once time is called, how does the team appeal a runner missing a base? Well, you just saw that in the video. If time has been called, no appeal can be made. So the ball has to go back to the pitcher. He puts his foot on the rubber. The umpire points, puts the ball back in play by saying play, and then the appeal is made from that point forward. Number 3, does the umpire ever tell a team to appeal? Well, sometimes maybe we'd like to, but we never tell anyone to actually make an appeal. Sometimes they will ask you, should we appeal? If that was the situation, just say go through the exercise and do it if you'd like to appeal. Don't advise them in any way whether they should or shouldn't make an appeal. And in short, that's appeals and plays.